Hi, I'm Anthony Reinhardt from bestbluesguitarlessonsonline.com, and this video will explore the new style vibrato of John Mayer. And we will be talking about vibrato technique that is really easy to get into. And especially if you're experiencing difficulties like many people, applying vibrato in your guitar playing, this video will be really beneficial for you. Alright, so let's first look at the two different styles. We have the new style and the old school style. Old school meaning that we have a harsh sounding vibrato. Think about Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, many other old school blues guitarists have a really harsh way of doing vibrato, which is still really valid today. We will explore this style more in depth also, but especially we will look at the second style of playing vibrato, which is the new style vibrato. It's a much smoother sound, and it's not only that this vibrato is is played slower, but it's especially true that this vibrato is done in another technique. We need other techniques. So the old school vibrato, the harsh sounding bluesy vibrato, is done with the thumb wrapped around the neck, and then we're either pushing up the string or bending it down, and we're also returning the string to the same position as we started in. Now the new school vibrato technique, as you can for example see in the song Last Train Home and the video clip that John Mayer does, and many other examples he uses this vibrato, but this is a really good example, this video clip. And let's delve into how to perform the technique, because as you can see it requires a different technique. Instead of wrapping your thumb around the neck, this vibrato works really well with the thumb underneath the neck. So you place your thumb under your finger. For this example, I'm using the vibrato. I'm playing the vibrato with index and middle finger at the same time, and I'm hitting the string with the pick. And I'm kind of massaging the string. I'm doing a little back rub on the string. So I'm also pushing it up and down, but instead of choosing one or the other, bending it down or pushing it up, I can do either side. So whereas with the old school vibrato, I'm just doing either the bending up or the bending down, and then bringing the string back to its neutral position before going for another bend, and then the whole vibrato is a series of bends performed in this way. In the new style vibrato, I'm pushing the string down, but I'm also, without going back to the neutral position and stopping there, I'm also pushing it up. And this vibrato was also made popular by Steve Vai, who did a sort of vibrato technique that incorporated the best parts of classical vibrato and the modern style rock vibrato. So in Steve Vai's technique, he also incorporated the classical vibrato, and that's what made the new style vibrato popular. If you don't know how to perform the classical vibrato, it's just really simple, where you are pushing your finger really hard onto the string, and then you're trying to push the string to the bridge. So this will give a really small vibrato effect, but on a classical guitar with nylon strings, this gives a better feel. On electric, because of the metal of the strings, oftentimes it's hard to get the same effect, the classical style vibrato. So you can see that the effect is really minimal, but what is the essence here is that Steve Vai took the classical style vibrato, where you're shortening the string by pushing really hard, and as you can hear, it's a really minimal effect, but he is incorporating this classical style vibrato technique together with the more rock version, the old school vibrato that we explored the other minute, where you're pushing the string to either side. So either you're pushing it down or you're pushing it up. But Steve Vai, he took that vibrato and incorporated the classical together with the rock vibrato to get his unique vibrato, which is actually done this way. So as you can see, my finger is forming circles here. So I'm pushing the string a bit down, I'm pulling it down, but then I'm also at the same time doing this classical style vibrato. Now the Steve Vai vibrato is harder to get into, but what is easier to get into is just a new style of smooth vibrato. So this is the first thing we will try to play here together, and you can just follow along and play this. So instead of using also a bit of the classical vibrato where my finger is going back and forth between the frets, here in this easier example, I'm just pulling the string down and then I'm bending it up again. So I'm going to the two sides of the neutral position of the string. I'm bending it down and then I'm bending it up also. Another version of this would be if you just bend down the string, but you do it in a really gentle way and you do it without the thumb wrapped around the neck. So you do it like this. This is sometimes easier to get into this new style vibrato. Now, if you also push it a bit upwards, you get a real smooth sound, and it sounds like this. And once you get the hang of this, you can incorporate also Steve Vai's technique of going back and forth in between the frets. So you can choose in which way you like the vibrato, the sound, and experiment with all these techniques. But basically the new style vibrato is being used by a lot of great guitarists nowadays. Old school vibrato is great for blues or rock playing and is still really valid today. Let me know in the comments what you like best, what you use yourself. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, then you get all the newest videos to your YouTube home feed. And if you want to delve deeper into the technical aspects of blues guitar playing, check out the free to download blues guitar ebooks on bestbluesguitarlessonsonline.com.